Hi everyone. Okay, wait. Hi everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Student Life Talks, a podcast. Hi everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Student Life Talks, where we explore student challenges and student experiences on campus. I'm Samantha McCara, and I am the digital content creator for First Year Experience. And with me today is Carmel Francis.
Hi everyone, my name is Carmel and I am a senior peer mentor with FYE as well. And in this episode, we will be talking about student volunteering on campus. And I'm so excited to get into this episode that's focused so much on such a dynamic and student-focused environment. Today we have with us Sadia Chaudhry and Ritusha Nambiar. Sadia and Ritusha, please tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Ritusha. Right now, I am the digital content creator for CCR, the co-curricular record program. I also started off as a volunteer and a peer mentor with FYE.
Hi everyone, my name is Sadia. I use the she, her pronouns, and I am the student life coordinator for the First Year Experience North team. Just like Ritusha here, my journey also started off as a volunteer with the orientation team, and I migrated as a student staff, and now I run the program. So it's really cool to be here, and I'm excited to chat with all of you about all things orientation and student life.
Sadia, you graduated with a diploma and a bachelor, right?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
creative advertisement?
Yes, I have a diploma in advertising and marketing communication, and I recently graduated from creative advertising.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Boss girl. And Ritusha, you have a diploma of content strategy.
Yes, I do. I have a diploma in content strategy, and I am currently doing a graphic design program. So I'll be graduating in fall with a diploma in graphic design.
What led you to joining student life?
Honestly, my first time in my first program, my diploma program, I wasn't very involved. I just kind of came to my classes and went home. It wasn't until I came back for my degree where I decided to actually get involved, because I remembered there were students that would be on campus. I remember attending orientation, and they really helped to shape up my experience on my first day here at Humber. And I had such a great time. I wanted to pay that forward to the next set of students that are coming in. So that's how I kind of got involved. I started off with volunteering for orientation. So I was running around in one of those pink t-shirts. And then from there on, I expressed my interest for wanting to stay within student life and connect with other students. And that's how I kind of got to where I am. I just was just being very loud and annoying, and I was like, I want to help people, and they're like, okay, so it kind of worked out. So I started off as a volunteer, then I worked for the orientation team for their marketing and communications. So I was the one sending all of the students their Meet Your Faculty session information, and then I started as a senior peer mentor for the First Year Experience team. I also was a digital content creator, so just like Ritusha here, I was a DCC, and then I became the facilitator once I graduated from my program for the orientation team, and now I'm here with FYE. So it kind of went everywhere. Yeah.
What's your favorite position?
Ooh. That's tough. I had a lot of fun being a digital content creator because it's what I studied, but I really do enjoy my current role right now. It's so much fun connecting with students, meeting such lovely, talented individuals such as all of you, and meeting other students as well. And that's the one thing I really like, meeting everyone and just making memories and connecting with them. That is the best feeling for me, and that's what I look forward to.
For me, I honestly, when I first came to Humber, I didn't even know that we had something called the First Year Experience program, because I was so lost. We had, so I came in during COVID, and everything was just quiet. The place was empty. Everything was happening online. We didn't have a lot of interaction with a lot of the students, forget staff. We didn't have a lot of interaction. It was all virtual. And then I think it was in my second semester of my first year where I was like, I don't want to just sit at home. I want to go out there. So I started, we kind of pressured our faculty into taking one in-person class a week so we could come and meet people, which we did. And then that was when I bumped into a tiny little pamphlet that said, looking for volunteers. And I was like, oh, exciting. Let's go try this. And then I got to interview 2 people, T and Michelle. And T was amazing. She was like, oh, wow, you're the first person who came in person. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was in person. I'm sorry. What am I doing here? I'll go back. I'll do this online. She was like, no, it's okay. You're here already. We'll just sit through it. So, yeah. And then I got in, and I've loved it ever since. I think the best thing that happened for me was I got to explore all 3 campuses. Because I think some of the students right now, too, we don't actually know of IGS as much. Because it's a little far off as well from Lakeshore and North. But yeah, I think all 3 campuses, I got to visit all 3 campuses, got to make great interactions and communications with a lot of the students, staff. And then I reached out, I think I spoke to Sadia as well. I was like, ooh, Sadia, how do I get a blue shirt? Because I was like, I was in a pink shirt. I was like, this pink is so bright, but I love it. But yeah, I was like, ooh, how do I get a blue shirt? And she was like, oh, you gotta, I don't know, get more involved and see where it takes you. And then I'm now a digital content creator.
And now she has one of those
and
blue
now
shirts.
I'm a blue shirt owner.
Do you like being a peer mentor more, or did you like being a DCC?
I still, I still am. I was a peer mentor until the summer semester. Like, we don't really do peer mentoring during summer. So, if it was still happening, I would still love to do it because I enjoy it. You get to meet great people, such amazing stories, and I still love doing that. But because I like expressing my creativity a little bit, I think I really enjoy the DCC program. I get to connect with people not just online, but in person as well. Like, this is happening because of a lot of brainstorming, and I like that we're actually putting this together after a lot of efforts and thoughts. So, yeah, I think it's everything at the end comes to team effort. I think everyone just sits and collaborates, and we come up with such creative ideas, and it all happens over here. And I think I really enjoy the space.
It's like
now.
our second home.
I know, we're always here.
I know. So
Yeah, sometimes I have to like kick y'all out. Like, get out already.
I do remember that though. I think once Mitch was trying to leave early, and all of us were like, "No, it's no, we're not ready to leave yet. There's stuff."
Humber was probably so mad. He was just like, yeah, I just want to go home, and these kids just want to stay.
Yeah, I think with the both of you, you have had many roles and responsibilities, but I think Ritusha more because she's currently doing her, she's trying to get her diploma, and she's in school, and she's being a blue shirt and being awesome. And you also, like, you had so many different roles. How did you both manage, juggling social life, schoolwork, having sanity while also doing all of this?
I cried a lot. I'm just kidding.
No, fair point. Cried a lot. For me, I don't really know how much of a social life I have outside of here, because I think I just made a lot of great friends here that we tend to meet outside and communicate and socialize as well, which I thoroughly enjoy. And before, even before I became the DCC, I think I just think scheduling really. Like, if you plan your time out, back then I was doing like 2 different part-time jobs. I was doing the orientation, peer mentoring, and then honestly everything. I was running around. I also worked as an EA for accessibility as well. So there was so many things that I was doing, and I was like, at one point I'm like, I think I'm just gonna sit down and question myself and ask me like why I'm doing all this. But then I'm like, if I'm not gonna keep myself so occupied, I'm not really exploring, I'm not really enjoying, I'm not really, I keep telling myself, if I don't work so much and if I don't stay this busy, my breaks are not gonna feel like breaks. Mm-hmm. They're gonna just feel like another day where I have like 3 extra hours or 5 extra hours. And when I wanna break, I wanna break. I wanna sleep or I wanna go out. party, that's me. Like, I really need a break. So I like keeping myself really occupied throughout the day with assignments, with volunteering, with a lot of other things as well. And for my social life, I think my friends are always understanding, and I'm sure they have their own pile of things to take care of and their schedules to follow. But friends are friends. We always understand, and we'll come to one point where we're like, yeah, we'll take this day off on this week, and then we'll meet, and then we hang out and we have great food because I like my food.
Yeah.
Adult friendship. Yeah.
I can add to that. I'm really happy that you said that, because it's really important for not just for myself, but for students that are watching and for all of you as well, to make time for yourself. I know when I was a student, I worked at orientation and FYE, and then attended all of my classes full time. And I had another job outside of Humber too. So it's definitely really difficult to manage and juggle so many commitments and after school curriculars, just like all of you. So staying organized is so important, but also really important that you prioritize yourself and give yourself the break that you need. Like Ritusha said, she likes to keep herself busy. That's great. And when she takes a break, she takes a break. So make sure, and this goes out to everybody, if you're juggling multiple things, that's great. Juggle on, but make sure you're taking time for yourself. So get yourself an agenda, stop by the Ignite office, or even come by our office. We have free agendas to give away. Plan out your day and make time for yourself, make time for your friends, make time for your school. But most importantly, like I said, make time for yourself.
Did you find that retaining friendships is a little bit of a challenge when you're so involved that you really do lose some of those, first year friendships that you made, or some of those connections, because they don't understand how heavily involved you are within student life and why, because they don't get to see the inside, the behind the scenes of how amazing all of this is.
I think when it comes to retaining friendship is to just make sure you're communicating with your friends and make sure you're still letting them know that although you have your priorities, you're also prioritizing your friendship and you make that time. And yeah, like I've been saying, make time for everything, including yourself.
I think one of the most important questions that I sometimes get, even with the interviews going on, is how can the volunteering experience, how can it translate into a paid position, or how can it help me in my resume? Because volunteering at its core, you need to invest a lot of time before it really do. From that pink to the blue, it's not an easy. You have to put in the commitment. So, what do you have to say about someone who is looking for how would that turn into a paid position, or especially international students who are looking for experiences?
Um, like I said, honestly, just be vocal about it. You reach out, talk to the staff about it, talk to the pro staff. Let them know that you really want to be involved, and honestly, don't just be vocal, but definitely be vocal. You kind of also have to prove it to them that you're worth it. You know,
You gotta show up.
yeah, just be there. You gotta put in the hours. You gotta put in the work, and honestly, just be nice about it. Like, you don't want a blue shirt. You don't want a blue shirt, or you don't want to transition to get paid opportunities here just because you want to get paid. And honestly, at least over here, I think being the community that we are, I think we're really, really tight. We're very supportive. So definitely reach out to your seniors, your pro staff. Let them know you want to be involved, but definitely prove it to them. Like, show up, be there, do what you got to do. Also, build on your resume and your portfolio. So if you can reach out, we have resources at Humber that offer the same. So build on your resume, work on that, build relationships, talk. That's honestly it. Just put in the effort.
I feel like with friends, I've gained more friends here. 'Cause it's like, because we were just talking about how like we were introverts, and but working here, at student life makes us an
I
expert.
know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I actually met my best friend through orientation. We were both volunteering, and then now we're besties. She attended my wedding. She was like my witness for my wedding. So
Love it.
you make lifelong friends when you get involved sometimes. And going back to the whole retaining friendship thing, yeah, sometimes, you may have some friends that may not like all of the things that you're doing. But the great thing about volunteering and meeting, attending these kinds of events and taking part in it, you meet more like-minded people that are going to be more encouraging and more supporting. And then you can do more activities and stuff together, and you find out how much you have in common with those people, and that's how you become besties with them.
When I actually interviewed, I told them that I might find it a little difficult to be as vocal as I am right now, because back then I was just like, I'll talk to you just because I have to.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
I was like, I swear,
here.
she's been like this since day one.
I'm telling you, the minute I started with orientation, I've been this whole other person. I'm like, who am I? I'm not this person.
My family would be like, "You do workshops and events."
Your confidence grows. Like
It really
all
does.
three of you, since you have started, you have literally gone from caterpillars to butterflies.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's what I love to see. That's one of my favorite things. So.
I don't think it's about introverts versus extroverts in student life and FYE. It's like the extroverts exist, and all they do is they just try to hug you and make you feel like you are heard. You have ideas, bring them out. You want to do a podcast? Start it. Like they completely give you the space to be you, and then you just suddenly grow into this ambivert who just is now I'm comfortable with being loud, like I'm a little awkward, but that's fine because everyone else is awkward too.
Exactly. I just think
So
we're so understanding about. I think we kind of just figure out who we are. I mean, I know we started off with, oh, we're a little bit of an introvert. We don't really like to talk or whatever, and then we think we're growing to be this extroverted person where we talk to everybody and nobody and sometimes the wall and doors, but we're still talking. But no, I think it's the growth. I think the confidence and the comfort level, I think, just knowing that, we're there and letting the other person know as well. And also being really understanding about it, like, especially with space and privacy and having come from that area of, oh, maybe we're not so okay with talking to people, to knowing that there are other people like that who also might want to have that space. So yeah, I think it's the growth really, that journey. This place really changes you.
I think it's also important to note that the reason why many of you are able to experience these changes, and these are really good changes, I gotta give a huge shout out to all of the coordinators and everyone that works in student life.
Definitely.
We have such a great, diverse group of individuals with different lived experiences that really makes it easier for us to be able to relate to them. So, for example, like I am a South Asian first generation student. So in the past, I've had first generation students that came up to me asking for advice because they knew that was something that we had in common. And in situations like that, it's so important to have people with similar lived experiences as you, because they're able to give you some of the advices that you need. And it's also great to see how someone who has the same identities as me is able to flourish and actually have a career like that. So it's a really great way for you to be able to find people to set as your, to be like your mentors, but also learn from them, and you learn a lot about yourself too. So that's also really great. So shout out to all of you and to all the people that work in student life. We change each other,
We do.
but for good.
For the better.
Yeah.
For the better. Yes, for the
We're
better.
not changing. We're growing.
we're growing.
We're growing together, which is really, it's really inspiring to work around here. Since you guys have been here for so long, you guys probably have like good memories coming, or not coming, but like in student life program. What are some of the best memories that you have?
I love that you all collectively turned to me first.
We're like, she said we've been here for a long time, and I'm like, the longest. We'll move on to the longest.
They're definitely, I have so many, but I'll touch on this past year as my time as a coordinator. Because this year was definitely a lot of fun. We had so many fun events, and then after all of the events were done, we would have our little after parties with all of our amazing senior peer mentors and our volunteers and stuff. I think that is like the post-event celebration has to be my favorite, because we're all just kind of we're wrapped up the event, we're sitting together, we're tired from it because we were super high energy. So those moments where we're just chilling and vibing, we have good music, and we're just munching on the remaining snacks, and then somehow we find a balloon, so we end up having like a balloon war where we don't let the balloon touch the ground. That has to be my favorite memory. Just like, that is just so fun, because at the end of the year, when we go around asking people what their favorite memory is, it tends to be that. So that has to be my favorite.
Yeah. For me, I think it's creating content now, especially with now that we have TikTok. Yay! And we have our DCC meets every Thursdays as well. I think that's the best thing that's happened so far, is we get to meet each other and collaborate together, and Thursday is the day. And I think it's the best time that we have. Every time we slip on those little piggy heads and the Angry Bird heads, we're always killing it.
Yeah, turn into a bird. An
We
angry
turn-
bird.
Yeah, we turn into whoop.
I think one of my best memories, probably the leadership retreat. Yeah. Especially climbing up that
Summit.
summit.
Bro.
Yes. Broke my arm. Not broke my arm, but so many bruises.
I
The
know.
day.
I have bruises on my armpit.
How?
Because I was like, because I climbed up the rope, and then it was like that big wooden piece. So I was just like,
I'm gonna hug you for dear life.
Got it.
Yeah. I have a fear of heights, so that was scary for me, but conquered.
Yeah.
It was
and
good.
everyone was so encouraging too, especially when like somebody was a little bit scared of the height. It was so great to see when they would look down, and we were all just like cheering them on,
Yeah.
and they just gave them like the extra push they needed. It's just so
Support.
Yeah. I think that's why I was like able to climb up there, because everyone's like cheering for me.
Yeah, at the time, like I wasn't a part of the student life team. I think I was a volunteer, but I was still quite like I hadn't integrated, I think, yet.
You're
So
still pretty active.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was, I think, but there was still like because I was mostly on lake, and then there was you guys on north most of the time. So a lot of you guys, it was like not the first meet, but it was kind of like a reintroduction after a really long time. So I think one of my greatest memories was when T and your team just like stormed the snowfields outside with like snowball fights and just that was like, okay, now I gotta let go of my inhibitions and just like pelt these people.
They're now my
To be
enemies.
fair, I was not part of the original crew that came in throwing the snowballs. I was just trying to take my cute girly pop pictures.
Can I be honest? I don't think any of us were really originally part of that snowball fight.
Oh,
We were just there.
out of nowhere.
Was like front and center of that.
Of
She's
course.
the one who led
Yeah.
the charge,
Of course.
and then we were just like, no, we
I
must take
expect
them down.
nothing less
I
from
was
her.
in that team, and Mitch and, Mitch and T was like, "Oh, let's go after them.
Of
Let's go throw
course.
snowballs at them." So we like sneaked behind. I was
The
just
planning
taking the camera.
masterminds.
I
I was
also
the
love that T
journalist.
also went there with her volunteer shirt on.
I
Like
know.
if we
All
show
of
a
us were like,
picture,
"Oh my
she had her pink
God."
shirt, volunteer shirt. I was like, I love it. I love it.
So moving on from that, I think a lot of the memories and all that you have been through, are there any valuable lessons that you have learned after facing all those different things within student life?
No, for me, I think it was just pushing forward. Like I think I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. It was just me and like a team that I had to really compete to reach. I would not push myself. I would just be like, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was just so supportive, and everyone's just so kind and helpful. Like all of y'all, you're just like so nice. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep at it, one step at a time, and then get through it. So yeah, just push forward.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Definitely push forward. Like, you are your own worst critic, and you are stopping yourself from actually having a fun time. So if you've ever been curious about wanting to get involved, or you just want to ask a simple question, go ahead and ask that question, because as Ritusha said, we're very welcoming, we're very inviting, and we never will look at you and be like, that's a stupid question. But like, if we do, we're joking about it just to like make you laugh. But majority of the times, we do our best to help you out as much as we can, provide the resources. And if we don't have the resources, we'll try to find it for you. So don't get to your head too much. Actually, just step out of your comfort zone and give it a try.
I think as you were saying that I think you mentioned it before as well. Like our team is pretty knit, like tightly knit. Like we're all really so from the outside, as I had that perspective, it looks very intimidating because like they have a team already and they belong. Like how am I gonna make my little place? But I think everyone is just so nice and everyone is so welcoming. I swear it sounds cliche, but there's no other way that I can actually define it. Everyone's energy just kind of parts and makes way for you, and then your energy is a part of that as well.
It's super inclusive here. Like everyone's like here with their arms open. They're like, "Come here, let me give you a big hug." It's just so nice here. Like everyone, that's what I was saying. Like when you stand outside and you feel like you need to really fight to be part of this team, when you
don't
have that
have to.
mentality, nah. Here they're just like, "Oh, just hop in. We're gonna make space for you.
Well,
You just
what
come on
was
in."
it like for you, Carmel? As you said, you kind of came in midway through the semester, and you said that we were kind of like a tight knit group. But to me, I thought you migrated in like you were always just there. You just kind of sprinkled yourself in. So,
Yeah.
what was it like for you? What advice would you give to someone who probably is feeling the same way that you once felt before you got involved?
I think for that, when you find someone who has either a pink shirt like you or is a blue shirt, try to make a connection with them. Try to talk to them. Show yourself. Like who are you? Even if you're quiet and you like things like, oh, I like ice cream. I promise you, other people like ice cream here. We are
My favorite's strawberry.
diehard ice cream fans, and that's my point. You find a random topic, and I guarantee you, someone will back you up and go like, I agree with that. I relate to that. Yes, that is my life. And that's how you kind of find your niche and you find your space. And you'll notice that you never needed to make space. It just kind of was there and you just became a part of it. It's amazing how I bonded with so many of other volunteers, not just during events, but bus rides home, bus rides back. Oh my God, that event was so much. Like we had to deal with so much with school. Michelle, oh my God, like after exams, she would be there like, let's hug it out. She was that person for me. That's I think it's a wrong way to see it. That how will I carve my space in here? And if you just see it as, oh, there is a need for me, so the space is already there. You just kind of plop in, and then they'll mold themselves to you. I feel like student life is kind of that they it's constantly moving and shaping because of how inclusive and how diverse it is. So when you come in, it'll mold like a cookie around you. So it's not a cookie cutter thing. Everyone just belongs.
Everyone's a chocolate chip in the chocolate chip cookie.
Bit of macadamia,
Everyone
if you like.
contributes something to the
Yeah.
cookie.
I know.
And I feel like there's no hierarchy. Like in all offices, jobs, it's all about like the manager, coordinator, and like the employees. But with us, it's like we all work together.
We're so open with each other. There's like you don't feel it when
I
you're
mean, we ask our boss to be in TikToks with us. I
Duh.
think
like
you can't really do that with a lot of places.
we're just like, "Oh, you're doing this today." And they're like, "Okay."
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna put this on your head and you're gonna do a dance, and they're like, okay.
If you say so, ma'am.
Like, how many times have y'all came up to me and just threw the Angry Bird hat at me? Like, okay, Sadia, get on the table. I'm like,
She's
okay.
like, "Sadia, you're dancing for us today." Sadia's like, "Okay."
I'm like, oh, okay.
I gotta move new.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's the one good thing I will say is that I love that you folks feel comfortable enough to be able to have that dynamic within yourselves, but within our supervisors and managers as well, which I think is really great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do make so many friends, and you meet so many new people, and you learn so much, and you grow as well because you're learning. But at the same time, like when you come in, you have to keep an open mind. You have to make sure that uh, you're not closed as a person. Like, of course, you're gonna have some reservations, but don't let that limit you from going, oh no, that's too challenging for me, or that's not what I'm made for. Give it a chance. Like, we're pretty awesome people. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sadia and Ratusha, for being here with us. You have been awesome.
Cheers to all of you.
Cheers,
on
cheers to y'all.
the successful end of episode 1 of
Episode
our
1
podcast.
podcast.
Yay!
Woohoo! Cheers.
If you're a first-year student, we have a special giveaway for you.
We're giving away tickets to CNE and the TFC games. All you have to do is comment down below and tag 2 of your friends.
Be sure to like and share our podcast.
Student Life signing out. Ding.